So it feels like the revolution is well and truly upon us, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, I have my England flag up, and so do loads of other people. And everyone's loving it, man. I mean, this is Birmingham with the flags flying across all the lampposts here. And, man, this is just so good. It is so good, because the thing is, the authorities hate it. And you can feel that they hate it. And you can feel... a load of councils have just declared, and we'll get into this in a minute, that they're just going to take them down when they see it. It's like, okay, that's fine. It's war. It's war, right? Because the great thing about this is that this is not destruction of property. This is not like, the best they can appeal to is like some nebulous health and safety code violation, which no one fucking believes, because they've been putting up Palestine flags and whatever flags non-stop for the past like however many years, right? It's obvious that this is about the fact that this is the England flag, and that's what they hate. And so I'm not having it. I mean, yeah, no one cared. Palestine flags everywhere. No one cared. A single England flag, oh, that's it. Tear them down. It's like, no, absolutely not. Every bloody place in England is going to have England flags by the time we're done. Operation Raise the Colours has been a resounding success, and we're in the first week of it, folks. This has been superb. Like, for example, in Birmingham, they painted the roundabout. Again, they're gonna argue on very narrow bureaucratic grounds, being like, oh, well, health and safety of some sort of bullshit, right? But the thing is, everyone knows this isn't about that. Everyone knows this isn't about health and safety. This is about politics. This is a political act, and this is a political reaction, and they will treat this as a political crime. But the thing is, what harm is done? He raised an England flag in England, sir. Oh, get him, I suppose. Get that horrific felon, a horrific violator of the doctrine of multiculturalism. That's what this is about. And so, you know that they are going to take... In fact, I'm going to show you that they're taking this really badly. And this is everywhere. I mean, this is Canary Wharf. Gorgeous. Absolutely. You love to see it, don't you? And even like Leo, like Scotsmen are like, God, thank God. Thank God the English are finally raising some flags and I can feel like I'm in a safe country that I understand. I love this. To give you an idea of how England has changed, when I moved here 25 years ago, I'd see an England flag and think, they might be a bit rough. I hope they don't have a beef with me because I'm Scottish. Now when I see one, I think, thank God I'm amongst brethren. Yeah, exactly. Things have changed far too much. And this is in Tower Hamlets. You can see the lads putting up an England flag here. And Tower Hamlets Council are, of course, committed to tearing this flag down. And Lawrence here, good point, posting the councillors of Tower Hamlets. The mayor is Luftar Rahman from the Aspire Gaza Party, right? Farouk Ahmed from the Labour Party. Kabir Ahmed from the Aspire Party. Lilu Ahmed, Labour Party. Mustak Ahmed, Aspire Party. Ohid Ahmed, yeah, okay, I think the point has been made. This is about ethnic statements. These people view this as their area, their land, and they view the attempts at putting the English flag up as a statement of recapturing territory. That's what they're responding to. This is purely political. It's about what moral order reigns over this place. It's about which ethnic group has the power in this country. That's what this is about. And that's why it's just really getting everywhere. I mean, it's hit the Mail Online, obviously. So, I mean, the Mail Online, whether you like it or not, they've got a large readership. So it's good that they are talking about the flag wars that are sweeping England. Flag wars are spread nationwide as London Council ordered staff to tear down St George's crosses put up by patriotic campaigners. Again, the only argument they're going to make is going to be narrowly bureaucratic, but really what underpins it is they do not want the English to feel like this is their area. Tower Hamlets, as far as they're concerned, I mean, it's only 22% English, by the way, is not English. It's a colonised area, and they want to make sure that you know this by ensuring that your flag doesn't fly there and their flags do. That's what this comes down to. But they do a really good job, actually, in this. Operation Raise the Colours supporters were filmed on TikTok putting up England flags in Tower Hamlets. They've been doing it in Birmingham. They've been doing it all over the country, frankly. And honestly, you just absolutely love to see it. And it's actually not even a bad write-up from the Daily Mail. So even the Daily Mail's like, yeah, okay, well, it's hard to argue with the righteousness of the cause. Why should that not be the case? And this is great, you know, taking down the Palestine flags and putting up the St. George's flags. Don't know why Twitter isn't playing it, but good, good, good. And the councils, in response, as you can see here, they just take them down. Well, you keep taking them down because we can keep putting them up. Again, this is the flag of this country. This is the flag of the English people, and this is our country. We are going to fly this flag, right? This is just, it's not not controversial, but it's also not up for debate because the England flag has become the symbol of resistance, and that I think is great. Look at how this has been covered on Radio 4, right? Paul here, absolutely bizarre piece on Radio 4's afternoon programme a moment ago about the Raise the Colours flag campaign that's broken out across England. Barely any mention of the roots of the campaign or the various political arguments. No interviewees putting the case for or against. Instead, they spoke to the president of the Flag Institute, who spent the entire interview explaining the rules for displaying flags in public. Talk about totally missing the point. What is the purpose of the BBC these days? Well, that's a great question. But the point is, like, if they discuss the rightness or wrongness of having England flags flying in England, they'll have to, as Paul points out, have to discuss the roots of why this is occurring, and that's very bad for the multicultural project, because what it is implicitly is a reaction against the English losing their country, because everyone can feel it. We're all having conversations about it. I have conversations with people who don't know who I am. They just randomly like break into, what are we going to do? Like, what are we going to do about this? And well, that's the eternal question. But the England Raise the Flag campaign has been such a resounding success. Even Keir Starmer is basically capitulating, although he's doing it in a very Weasley way, right? So look at this. Starmer is a patriot who backs flying the England flag, says Downing Street. Number 10 insists the Prime Minister has pride in his country after the council's vow to remove the Union and St George flags from lampposts. Bullshit, but notice how they're going to slide into the Union flag here, right? So Starmer is a patriot, no one believes. They think it's a very important thing. Pride in the country is an important thing after they started removing it, right? So Labour-run Council Birmingham, they've been grappling with bin strikes, because obviously Birmingham's a shithole now. And so they say, the official spokesman says, I haven't asked them about specific cases of specific councils, but the Prime Minister has always talked about pride in being British. Okay, that's not what this is about, right? And it's not that the British flag isn't a good and valuable thing, obviously, but this is about pride in being English. But it's also a statement of domination that the English still reign in England. His patriotism, not least with the Lionesses in the Euros. Ah, yes, the state-approved women's football patriotism. Not interested, sorry. And I'm not even against the Lionesses. I'm actually very pleased that they did well. And I loved just how far right the Lionesses were when they came out and said, yeah, we were playing for England, didn't it? You know, like, it was just hardcore far rightism out of these girls' mouths. So it's not that in any way I want to vaguely imply that what these young ladies have achieved is not in any way praiseworthy. But the problem is it's siloed into, yes, this is women's football and it's just football and that's as far as it goes. And it's like, no, I'm sorry, that attitude actually applies to the entire country all the time, actually. So Starmer can't just hide behind that and silo that off. I'm not having it. Patriotism will always be an important thing to him. Bullshit. The spokesman was asked whether Keir thought putting up English and British flags, and he said, absolutely. Putting up patriotism, putting up English flags. We put up English flags around Downing Street all the time when the English football team, the men and women's, are around. Yeah, exactly. It's just when it's the football. It's, again, state-sanctioned, like, here's your 5 minutes of siloed patriotism. No, I'm not having it. I just refuse to accept it, right? But the point of all of this, and this is what's so great, is it has already got Keir Starmer to capitulate, right? Now, we need to just keep advancing this argument. No, it's not just about the football, is it, Keir? It's about the English people's claim to England as their land, collectively owned, their jurisdiction. So they get to decide what happens in it. That's what the root of all of this is. And if that means that the English one day turn around and say, right, okay, I'm just done with, like, illegals on our territory, they go. The appeals to human rights legislation and the European Court of Human Rights, all this nonsense, that's irrelevant, right? Because that is superseding the jurisdiction of the English in their own land. And when it comes to, like, various other things, I don't want to go too deep into that because that's a long conversation. But with the illegals, it's very cut and dried. Even Liberal Democrat voters think they should go. So don't give us this BS, mate. We know that they don't belong here, and we don't want them here. And this being our country means we should get our way on this. That's what this is all about. Anyway, he he says, well, you know, the PM's always been clear about his pride in Britain, reflected in the fact we have the St. George's flag and other flags flying down the street. Yeah, but only when it is politically expedient. Only when you feel it's an expression of feminism can you do this. Everything you do is progressive. And I'm not having it. I'm not having it. Now, the final thing to talk about, I think, is why it has to be the English flag. Because I'm a quite incorporative guy, I'm sure you're all aware. I'm happy for us to have many other friends who are supportive and are patriotic. But the problem is that the British flag doesn't represent the English people alone. What it represents is the imperial project that was the British Empire. And an empire by its very nature is multi-ethnic. Now, like I said, I'm completely fine with our non-English friends flying the British flag. In fact, flying the British flag or English flag. Totally fine. But the British flag has implications beyond the ethnos of the English. And that is normal, completely normal. But that means that the British flag doesn't have the same power as the English flag. The British flag will always be a multi-ethnic flag, and it is by nature Scottish, English, Irish, Northern Irish and Welsh. So by nature it is multi-ethnic, but also because of the scope of the British Empire, it does include, rightfully, those people who supported the empire in foreign countries. So totally fine, and again, it's good to be a British patriot if you're not ethnically British or English or whatever, and you're still living here. It's absolutely fine, and it's good to do so. But it is the English flag that has power. For example, in the Southport riots, one kid, 18-year-old, waved an English flag near a North Yorkshire Islamic centre and was charged with a hate crime, right? Charged with a fucking hate crime for waving an England flag in England. Now, he had firelighters, so they were like, look, that shows intent. He didn't do anything, right? He didn't actually do anything with these firelighters. But he had to plead guilty to racially, religiously aggravated harassment. And that was because he flew the England flag near a mosque. So I'm sorry, I appreciate our patriotic friends who are flying the British flag, but it's not sufficient. And I posted this on Twitter. It's only powerful to put up the St. George's Cross flag. They will tolerate you for putting up British flags because it's the flag of the empire. The England flag belongs to the English. It's a statement of ethnic dominance. Now, a few people have misread this, me saying we need to abandon the British flag. I'm not saying that at all. The British flag is, of course, still our flag, but it is collectively from all of the nations that made up the British Empire. They can all lay claim to it if they want. It's not that it is an exclusive flag. It is, in fact, an inclusive flag. The England flag is an exclusive flag. In fact, as I followed this up with, right, the English flag is what is truly provocative because it's a statement of ethnic dominance of one ethnic group over this land, rather than imperial dominance, which is multi-ethnic by nature. And so it has to, in my opinion, really, the power is located, the power of all of this is located in the flying of the England flag. So obviously feel free to fly British flags if you want, obviously. But it's the England flag that is actually making the point that we're trying to make. England belongs to the English. That's what's being said when we put up these flags. And that's what they're afraid of. They are afraid of. And so already Keir Starmer and Downing Street have capitulated on this. So now it's just about driving this home to all of the councils. You are going to have England flags up, whether you like it or not.